we are here, Voce Nova, on this Wednesday evening. And we are very excited to have a special guest with us tonight. Someone who I kind of know. Someone who has been around Voce Nova from the beginning, whether she wanted to be or not.
No, that's not true. She wanted.
No, that's not true. She was around it, but then she became a very important part of the Voce Nova team, and we are very excited. I mean, Natalia, do you have something to say before I bring our guest in?
Yes. Can you lower the phone even more?
Lower the phone even me?
Yeah, just muted. There you go.
Oh no, it's my. I have it. Okay, I thought I had it all the way down, but let me see.
Because I can hear the feedbacks. But I want to say that Lisa is such an integral part of our whole act. I mean, it's just, you don't understand, is wearing so many hats. You know, we're not just the performers, we're the everything. You know, we are booking, we are doing the wardrobe, there's so many things that it's just not just the singing where you just appear on the stage. We do it all. And to have such amazing talent and having her experience and her energy, and it's just above and beyond. And we're so grateful to introduce Lisa!
Lisa Katz-Paz!
Hi, guys!
Camera!
Poor thing, you were down there for how long?
I got up, I moved.
Let me see if I can, you know, she's more important. So there you go. There it is. So you can come in and I can be like, well, there you go. It's like we like each other.
Yeah, he's all right.
Yeah. So, thank you all for being here. If you are watching, please put in the comments that you are here. Say where you're watching from. Also, if you have any questions as we're going, please put them in the chat, put them in the comments. We are here to chat with all of you and for you all to get to know this woman next to me. She is our co-producer. She is also my wife of almost 10 years.
Wow.
And she has been, you know, dealing with a singer husband for about, singer significant other for about, what, 22 years now? So, Lisa, can you tell us a little bit about you?
Wow. What a broad, open-ended question. So my name is Lisa Katz-Paz. I am one of 3 producers and the only one that is not a performer in Voce Nova. I've done a lot of different things throughout my career. I've been working in fashion for a long time. I worked in TV production before that. I actually am a singer, but not one with any interest in performing professionally, because these two are crazy enough for all of us. But, you know, I mean, I have been a huge supporter of this guy for quite some time, and I know what an amazing talent he is. And it's always sort of been this, you know, ongoing pursuit of success and musicianship, and it's amazing to be around. And one night Gilad came home from a performance and was super excited about this soprano that he had sung with, and he showed me a video, and I said, I don't know much, but I know that this is what you need for your career and that you two belong on a stage together.
It's so true. It's
so
true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
And it's interesting because you right away touched on something because, you know, Lisa's saying she's used to, you know, supporting and being there. And it's what I've always been very grateful for with her presence and what we have really been able to utilize as an act is the fact that not only is she our biggest fan, but she's also our biggest critic. It's a great combination that we are able to have someone who really tells us for real what she thinks. And you know, you might be thinking, oh, you know, you're married, she's gonna be always nice to you.
Anybody who's married is not thinking that.
Right. But you're thinking like, oh, you know, but she, you know, she's there and she, no. If she thinks that something's not gonna work, she will let us know. It's not gonna work. She will let me know.
I'll scream it from the rooftops. I am just as invested in this project as Gilad and Natalia. You know, so for me, if it's not working, it's not just not working for them. It's not working for me either. And I care so much about these people and this project that I would never keep it to myself if I felt like there was room for improvement, or if we're going down a road that's not going to be productive or achieve what we're going for. So for me, it's an easy choice. Gilad and Natalia, are open enough to hear what I have to say, so I'm certainly going to say it for all of our good.
Yeah.
I think adding to that, you know, it's such a great thing to have somebody that has this ability to be, on one hand, a singer, understand how a singer thinks, and the other way also think as a producer thinks, and also as a client, as an actual audience.
Right.
So having that, it's amazing, you know, because you really can, whenever we have a show, it's not just what we think, it's what really going to work for people. So we have to really have that in mind. And we put a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of effort and energy into a project. Right now, we're actually working on a new show. You know, we don't want to wait till we finish and then we're going to test it out. We want to test it as we're doing it, and to have somebody like that to run the things and say, hey, I get what you're trying to do, but it just doesn't come across that way, is so refreshing. So great. And also, can I tell you that my outfits are like, I love that. Whenever Lisa and I were texting each other, like Fashion Nova, if somebody wants to sponsor us,
Fashion Nova.
Yeah, Fashion Nova. Hello.
Where are you at?
It's a match made in Russian heaven. You know, Fashion Nova, VOCE Nova, like it makes
exactly.
Sells itself.
We'll sing your jingle.
I don't think there is a jingle, but we'll write.
There should be a jingle.
Oh yeah, I like that.
See, but this is the producer brain. It's like, yes, let's make a jingle.
If there's not a jingle, then nobody's gonna write a better jingle than actual musicians, right?
Yes.
You know, but I think that in terms of that, like, layman's point of view, it's not really like we need to dumb down the material for our audience. It's not like we're trying to only cater to the lowest common denominator, but it is about producing a product that's intended for the people that are going to be consuming it. It's not for them. It's not for us. You know, when you put something out there that you want people to go see and enjoy, what you need to do is give the people what they want. And that's not to say you can't expose them to something that they don't know, but you want to give it to them in a way that they're not feeling like they're being lectured or like they're being educated. They're enjoying it because it's good, and it's something that they can absorb and take in, and hopefully something that inspires them to, you know, keep on listening to something that they don't know and might like and don't expect to.
Exactly. And I think
it's something that's very important when you're working as a stylist as well. You know, so producing a show and styling a look both kind of have the same intended outcome. You know, you really want to give the person who is wearing it or doing it something that they feel great about, and also something that's appropriate for the venue and feels like you just showed up perfect for what you're there to do.
Yeah.
Which is what Natalia does every time, by the way. She
sure.
just shows up perfect for everything we do. Just so it's very clear.
Like this.
crazy. It's absolutely nuts.
Yeah. But that's so let me ask you this, and I'll ask it to the camera. So producer, I can't just you know how this works. So Lisa, what goes through your brain when we come to you with our artistic ideas, and we say, okay, this is what we have in mind. What do you think? Like, what goes through your head when we come with, like Natalia just mentioned, we are working on brand new songs. Yeah. By the way, exciting news, guys.
Yeah,
whoever's watching, like, we are working on some really, really cool stuff.
True.
New VoceNova numbers that are going to come out and are going to be available very soon for any events that we're going to be performing in. So that's a little scoop for all of you.
Right.
So what happens when we come to you and we say, hey, this is something we were thinking about. What do you think? What goes through your mind? As our co-producer, as our let's call it our audience liaison in a way.
Right. Well, the first thing that I try to make sure goes through my mind is nothing. I don't want any preconceived opinions about what I'm being presented with. I just want to react to it. So the first thing I'll do is typically, if we're talking about like a song, something that one of the two of them has had an idea for, and somebody can sing it to me or play it for me or whatever, I'll take it in and I just try to react. I don't want to make it mean anything. I want to know how it makes me feel. I want to know what kind of mood it puts me in. I feel like you can hear when something is a hit and when it's not. And I think we want as many hits as possible. We want things that people want to put on their phones and listen to because it's fun, and because it makes them feel something. So whatever I feel and whatever reaction I have, that's the first thing that I'm going to give you feedback on. It's weird. It's like, am I talking to everybody out in cyberspace, or am I talking to you? I'm not used to this, guys. These people are on camera all the time. This is not my world.
You're amazing. You're amazing. You're yeah.
That's a big thing. I mean, you touched on a really important part, being able to really kind of give us that feedback right off the bat. So, and then, I mean, we're talking a little bit about the process. So then, she gives us her real opinion. And then, Natalia, what happens then when we hear it and we're like,
Well, so we really go through the options of, okay, what are we trying to do here? Sometimes, because VoceNova is such a interesting project because we're doing something that has never been done before. We're crossing between two completely different genres. We don't want to be kitsch. We don't want to be something that is just blah. We want it to mean something. We want it to be strong. We want it to be also something that we enjoy singing, that brings the best out of us as singers. So there's a lot of components here you have to juggle, So it's really what we can not sacrifice, but what's more important here, how we can play around with it, what's going to be better. It's a lot of playing around, when we do a song, yes, we have this perfect idea, but in reality, in practical, it just doesn't work, it just doesn't match really well. And then we have to find a different song that will match with that song. There's a lot of, every song is different. And, it's always that trial and error.
Yeah.
But that's, I think that should be the way any artist is operating if they're looking to sell their art. If they're looking to make a consumer product, then you kind of have to attack it from all angles. And like, just because you're committed to an idea doesn't mean that it works.
It's so true. And I see it a lot with a lot of artists and singers. They have this like vision and they think it's the most wonderful thing in the world. And it just doesn't work because they don't understand it. You're not singing for yourself. You have to communicate. It's the way you talk, right? I can mumble. I understand what I'm talking about in my head, but it doesn't mean people actually understand what I'm saying. So you have to balance where you feel your artistic integrity still, you took this into consideration, but also people get what you want to do. And again, it doesn't have to be so complicated. We want them to feel, as you said, Voce Nova is about that wow factor. It's that fun. It's making opera fun again. It's make it passionate again. It's make it amazing again. You know, that's
cool. Opera was once cool. You know, like
I mean, opera can still be
right.
cool. Opera
There's
is
no reason
still,
it shouldn't.
Right.
Be.
I mean, you want to talk about the fashion of opera? I mean, wow. It's amazing. It's just that
how much time do we have?
But you know, like when we talk about the fashion of opera, about how, you know, I mean, there is so much in there, and there are ways to present it in a fun way to a wide audience. Let's say America's Got Talent with a Moroccan beat. That is one way of presenting it. And that is a great segue to talk about what Lisa does for us on a regular basis when we are out there supposed to like give the best show we possibly can. And like you said, Natalia, there are so many, because we're doing everything, we have to take care of everything. Everything is there, like, and having you next to us and taking care of what we need. And I think that one of the, like, the most amazing examples of this was that America's Got Talent.
I had a feeling we might talk about this.
So you all are watching. You have to understand, and we have spoken about this before, but that day was March 14th, 2020.
Which might ring a bell as the weekend the world stopped.
The day just, it was half the day that more than half the day that we were there was the Twilight Zone.
Mm-hmm.
And having Lisa there, I want to hear a little, because I don't know how much we spoke about this, and it is really interesting. As a third party who was like, not third party, but like as someone who was not
as
us,
somebody who wasn't going to have to
get up on a stage in front of Simon Cowell and actually like perform and give a performance in front of an empty audience, you know, in front of an empty hall.
Yeah.
What did it feel like to you? What did it look like to you? Before, I'll give you a second. I'm just gonna want to say all
yes,
these
I want to say hi to all the people.
In the chat. So hi, Maya and Cheryl and Courtney and Jason's here. Thank you so much.
Guy is
here. You know. So,
wait, Jason has a question.
Oh yeah, let's see. Is there an idea that made you stutter?
Sure, lots of them. You know, I mean, you gotta kiss a lot of frogs, right?
Yeah. We gotta kiss a lot of frogs until we get to that. Oh, let me tell you. Last week I had an idea, and Lisa hears it, and she's like, "No." I
said, "No,
nope, that's not gonna happen." It's like, okay, never mind.
Because again, reaction.
Oh, we were just talking. It didn't even get to the point that we were talking about, Natalia, because I just brought it up, and she's like, "Nope, not happening."
I want to hear it. What is that?
That's not cool.
Hey, Tom on Instagram. Hello. So
AGT.
Let's talk about AGT and what happened there and how it was for you, because we never actually heard from you.
Well, so first I'll give a little bit of background on the way it is to be a performer's partner. It kind of feels in some ways like being a stage parent. Because you get nervous on behalf of the person you love, even though they're fine. So I have a long history of watching Gilad's performances, even before he and Natalia met, of sitting in an audience, crossing my fingers and toes, and really, you know, just feeling the stress for him. But on that day, now I'll just go a little farther back in the past. On that day, we came in with the best possible attitude, but we also arrived after a week during which it was unclear whether we were even going to get out there, whether our audition day was going to be canceled, whether the world was going to shut down, we couldn't get on a plane. So we came in very positive, but with a lot of existing stresses. So we got there. And the day started kind of great. You know, we woke up early. Natalia woke up the earliest because she had full hair and makeup to do. And
5 a.m.
You know how that goes. We did not have much to do. And I didn't have to be on camera, so who cares? But we got there and it was so exciting. And I've been around a lot of productions before, but that was certainly the biggest set I'd ever been on, the biggest show I'd ever been around.
It's like a whole building, guys.
It was the whole convention
The whole
center,
Performing Arts Center.
Performing Arts Center.
The Pasadena Performing Arts Center. Yep.
And it was amazing, the scale of this thing that was going on.
And so many people like buzzing with energy, you know?
Yeah, everybody was like out of 10, ready to do the thing. And then, and Gilad and Natalia were in a great headspace. Like the morning was awesome. The three of us have never been as on as we were during the first 4 hours of that day.
We were like,
we were so on. Like we get there, they're like, okay, you need to go do social media. No problem, we're doing social media. You gotta go up do sound check. We gotta go up do sound check. Oh, right. Can we get you into shooting the NBC shots? Yeah, no problem. Boom.
I'm gonna go talk to the producers about where you can warm up.
Yeah,
you know, like
and Lisa's there, like, oh, where can they warm up? Because they need to warm up. And now
there's no hot water in the thing.
And there's no hot water and the freaking tea maker or whatever. It's like, so Lisa's like out there taking care not only of us, taking care of like all the other contestants as a proxy,
So when we get the news that this is the last day of shooting for this phase of the competition, and they're going to get to whatever they get to, every non-essential person goes home, and then things got really incredibly exponentially more stressful.
Yeah.
I would venture to say as stressful a day as I've ever experienced in my life.
Really?
It was intense.
Yeah.
And time stretched out in the most bizarre way. Felt like we were there for eons. I think it was ultimately 11 hours.
Yeah.
It felt like a month. It felt like we lived there, like we were born there, like we'd never ever leave.
Like it really, we keep calling it the Twilight Zone, but it really was. It was just all of a sudden and everything around. And of course, we don't look at any of the news while we were there.
I believe, did neither of you look at social media the whole day?
I didn't touch it all day.
I don't remember.
I know.
Meditation.
I don't want to hear. I don't want to know.
Yeah. Going back and forth to the bathroom to touch on my makeup and my hair.
It was also hot in there. It was like a sweaty room.
It was.
Maybe that happened when they took down all the lights and started loading up road cases around us. Who knows? Maybe they cut the AC. So
things
while this is going on, I see the way that the stress is affecting both of you. And I know my job now is to keep the headspace and the mindset as positive as possible. So you guys, when the time comes, hopefully, and they finally call for Voce Nova to go do their performance.
But let's just wait. You are glossing over so much of what you've done for us that day.
Oh.
So like, we're sitting there and like, we're both in like,
I don't remember,
trying to be in our own headspace. Like,
No, that's where I was going.
No, but we haven't been called up yet.
I know.
Oh, okay.
I know.
Sorry.
Don't worry.
Sorry. She's telling the story.
Fine.
I saw it, yes.
So I see that they're both sort of processing their stress differently. And my first order of business is separate. Get Gilad away from Natalia because he's feeling like a little edgy. She's feeling like I need to meditate and shut all of this madness out. Gilad's feeling kind of chatty, but also he's kind of vibrating, bouncing off the walls a little bit. So I was like, okay, you here, we're going to go talk to this guy. You here, take a nap. And then, hours pass and we're chatting with some of the other people. One act had been there since the previous day, doing the whole stressful thing. And then they had to get called back the next day and do the whole stressful thing. So we were chatting with them. Everybody needed a coffee run. I was like, you know what? Nothing's happening. I was a production assistant for years. I can do a coffee run.
Lisa had to go to 3 different Starbucks because
they were all shut down
in LA.
Yep.
Just to get us freaking tea.
Yeah, just so my artists could have tea.
It sounds so prima donna.
Well, you know what? I actually, I said when they didn't have the hot water, I said to one of the producers, I was like, excuse me, my artists need tea. They're singers, and there's no hot water.
No way.
I felt like when I was a Little League umpire and I would tell people to get off my field, like really flexing. But you get results.
Yeah.
So we finally, 10 hours after arriving, get called. We go backstage and the energy is great. Better than you could possibly imagine.
After being there for
11 hours of torture.
Yeah, and 7 hours of just who even knows if we're going to make it on the stage, you know?
And I'm like backstage eavesdropping on the kind of questions that the judges are asking the other acts that were ahead of us. And I'm like, okay, they're asking this. So get ready to say this and this and that. And it all felt like it was really happening. And then as the TV industry loves to do, we got a big shock. When we got a big red X and a big attitude out of a very famous judge.
Now, let me ask you this. You are sitting there.
Yeah.
In the wings, watching
on the monitors.
On the monitors.
Yeah.
How does it feel to you when we are performing and, you know, and this is after, you know, and we kind of gloss over the fact that when we did the sound check, you know,
Right.
Lisa is with us, like, you know, we're turning to her. We're like, how does it sound? And
Oh, right. I actually, some producer actually asked me, like, can you come, like, because they kept asking me, how does it sound? They were like, who's back there? Come out here. And here I have, like, you know, some big shot producer from a multi-million-dollar production being like, are you okay with the sound? And I was like, I think the track needs to come up a little bit.
Again, like and I'm telling you, everyone's watching, like having someone advocate for you in those kind of situations is so important, and it makes it so much easier for us as artists to be able to really give our best in that, you know, in any situation, quite honestly.
Because as a performer, or as a producer rather, all you want is for your performers to be able to get on stage and do what they do. It's other stuff getting in the way that compromises what could be, you know, the best possible thing ever. So you need to be the catch-all for the other things.
So you're sitting there after the whole thing. So we're on the stage. You're watching. We are rocking it. We're doing our thing. You're watching in the monitors. And what's going through your mind as we're doing it, as we're talking to the judges, as we're, you know, happens what happens, and then, you know, talking to the judges again? Like, how does that feel?
Well, I was actually, so I'm standing watching the monitor. And I'm feeling pretty great about what's happening. I remember, by the way, lost a lot of this stuff, blocked a lot of this day in the ensuing trauma.
Yeah. What doesn't serve you?
Yeah. So I was standing watching. I remember feeling like you guys gave really excellent answers for your pre-interview, or not, no, like when you were on stage, even when you were being interviewed by the judges.
Yeah.
Not, I mean, Terry too.
Yeah.
But I remember thinking like, oh, that was great. They really did it. They hit all the points. Like, we're good. And then the song started and it felt really great. And then I heard this noise, this loud, horrible noise. And my thought process was, oh shit, there's a sound problem. Now they're going to have to start over, and all of that great stuff they just did is going to be lost. I hope they can reproduce it.
I'm sorry.
And I said something to our producer. I was like, hey, was there like some kind of sound issue just now? I thought I heard a weird buzz from the monitor. And she was like, oh no, everything's fine. Don't worry about it. And it wasn't until the number ended that I noticed the big red X, because that hadn't been on my monitor. I guess it wasn't on the shot list for the camera people because they weren't expecting it.
You see, that's a producer thing. to say like, you know, maybe it wasn't there because they weren't expecting. That is the kind of insider producer brain that was really great to have, honestly, in this entire like America's Got Talent experience.
And then when the judging happened and Simon was critical, the producer was even reassuring me. She's like, oh, don't worry, that's his job. He's got to be negative. Like, that's the shtick. Don't worry. And then suddenly, what had been a really positive response from the judges the whole time I was watching it, they were rocking out. I remember feeling like, we got this thing. And then all of a sudden, it's a no. And I actually like kind of collapsed into the chair that happened to be behind me. And I was devastated. I was watching the exit interview, and I remember seeing like the emotions underneath the smiles that you guys so dutifully kept on your faces. And just like my heart was breaking for us and for you guys, because I felt so proud of what happened on that stage. And I watched the whole thing sure it was going to be a yes. It never even occurred to us that it might be a no.
Because Howie was dancing and Sophia too, you know.
Yes!
So we
cheering.
Yeah, Howie was loving it, yeah.
Yeah. And
we were like, okay, one no, but two yes. We're going to go
right.
through.
I was sure it was going to be a no from Simon and then two yeses.
Exactly.
It was a shock.
First of all, I just want to say hi to Alessandra and Tomas, both from Argentina.
Woo!
Hola.
You know that they speak in Argentina, right?
Argentina.
They speak Spanish in Argentina. And that's, you know, an interesting
that's
tidbit.
That's not nothing.
That's not nothing. We would love to come to Argentina. If you guys are looking for performances, we would love to come to Argentina and perform. Anyway, yes, sorry, just wanted to.
No, so that's, you know, that was sort of the day. The post-mortem afterward was one of, you know, the most emotionally raw and terrible dinners that I've ever been a part of.
Yeah.
Remember how bad that dinner was?
Yeah, we went to dinner.
First of all, the thing is, I remember coming out. Gilad really knows how to pull himself together. He was like holding both me and Lisa. I remember that. I just collapsed. I'm laughing about it now, but back then it's like,
no, it was brutal.
Yeah, like somebody died in front of my eyes. It was such a shock, you know, and it was just like the accumulation of everything, and you know, the corona and just the whole stress of the day and the whole expectations and all the things we thought we really did. We didn't even think we're going to get a no, because everything so far, even with Lisa, you know, it's what was so important. She always, you know, told us, you know, well, if the producer says this is what it means. You know, we always kind of had this idea of what they want, and we thought that that's what they wanted, right? This is what they're looking for. We were working with what they want us to show, and it was completely not what we expected, and almost humiliating. Like I felt like they crushed my soul.
Yeah. No, I felt so much more like you seemed than like he seemed. That's totally normal, I think.
I was like crying, the ugly cry on the wall. And I remember who was after us? I think the country singer.
Oh yeah, Cameron. Yeah, Cameron was after us. Yeah.
And Cameron, I don't know if you are watching now, could watch this later, whatever it is. Your partner, even though it was COVID times and this was frowned upon, when he saw me fall back in my chair and really saw how hard I took it, he came over and gave me the warmest, most genuine hug. And I needed it so badly in that moment, and I didn't even know, but he knew. So thank you to both of you guys.
Aww. I'm the best. So yeah. Going to the dinner, we like thought we sat down there like we were just.
Oh, no, it was shell shock.
Shell shock.
It was shell shock.
We're like, what the fuck just happened?
Like you see, everybody's here. Like you see, we are talkers, all three of us, which is great. because that's why like there's a lot of like great ideas that bounce around, right? But like I have never had such a quiet walk in my entire life.
I mean, the waiter. Remember
oh my god!
I forgot all about that waiter.
With this weirdos.
Poor guy. We looked like we had just come from a war.
And like this is dinner at like 10:30 at night. Like this is late. Like Pasadena is closing down. It's the only place we found, and it was just like we barely even ate.
Right,
like,
I was just gonna say, and but no, we didn't take anything home.
No, right, most of it we just like
I hate it, and I'm mad. I mean, unfortunately, it's a real testament to you guys. You know, you mourned, and it was hard, but you've made such lemonade out of the damn lemons that you got on that weekend. Like the way that it's propelled the project forward and the other avenues that you've been able to explore because of it, and the energy that it's given to both of you. It's really amazing. And I think a lot of people would say, well, I just had an embarrassment in front of the whole world and I'm never doing this again. I'm mortified forever. And you know, that's not these people.
No. And we are very lucky to have you as a support system.
No.
So first of all, Marilyn is here.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Marilyn. And Jason enjoyed your get off the field. Alessandra is saying, Nati, you look so cute. And you know, we agree. Always.
Easiest person to dress. Easy, like.
And Lisa dressed some people. Like Lisa worked with Tim Gunn on Tim Gunn's Guide to Style. Like this is someone who has worked with like, you know, gurus of fashion. And she's saying this.
Well, Natalia's got, you know, an easy shape to dress and she's got a really defined personal style. And I think when she and I collaborate to talk about like what's going to function as well as look the way we want it to look, it's a real meeting of the minds. We got it.
More to come, guys.
Yeah,
right?
Fabulous music and fabulous fashions coming at you.
So if anyone else has any questions before we sign off, please put them in the comments. We have, I have to say, having Lisa here, this is a really nice turnout tonight. I mean,
thanks, guys.
You know, I mean, come on every time. You see, I always say this. No, everybody has to understand this, okay? I have a lot of family and friends in Israel, like our friends and our family in Israel. And we show up and I walk into a room and the first question, where's Lisa?
I'm short, so I'm usually just behind him.
He's right behind me. Thanks. Haven't seen you in a year. Nice to see you too. You know? So
where's Lisa? Yeah.
So having this energy and, you know, having someone who is there and, like we said, supporting us and taking care of us. And, you know, that's what we love having her around, and we love bringing her to any performance that we can, because there is something about, again, being able, and it's not, it sounds like an artist thing, but it's not, because when we are there, we want to give our audience and our clients the best performance we possibly can, you know? And to be able to do that makes it's so much easier to do when you have someone like this next to you, taking care of all the little things. How many times, Natalia, we were like about to go on stage, and we're like, hey, Lisa, can you get us this? Like, can you talk to the sound guy? Can you?
So many times my bun fell, or my hair extension.
Like, oh, your hair's on like
oh, your
patrol. I'm always on Tracks Patrol, Spanx Patrol.
Mary Poppins, you know, little suitcase behind us and like sawing. Sure.
Right. I believe it was at your first public show.
Uh-huh.
Right? Was it? No, it was at the Triad show that Natalia was wearing this awesome silver sequined mini dress. And they got up on stage for sound check and she started moving and she was like, oh my God, this is not the show I intended to give everybody tonight.
Like
we were up in the green room.
Short. I mean,
it kept riding up when you move.
It was embarrassing.
And we were in the green room. I was sewing the slit together by hand. But you know what? It's you. You can't do everything as an artist. I mean, people expect you to, but you shouldn't have to be an amateur seamstress and a producer and a sound guy. Like, it's a lot to expect of somebody who trained in an art. You know?
And it's not that we can't do it,
right,
because both of Natalia and I are entrepreneurs.
Yep.
We have other businesses. We are very up on that stuff. But honestly, at a certain point, you also just want to be a freaking artist.
Talent.
Like, you know, we can be the talent and actually have other people taking care of things. And luckily, one of these other people is someone who actually cares a lot.
I do. I care a lot.
And a couple of
3 questions.
Yeah. So first of all, Victoria is saying, Nati looks splendid. She's so cute. Love her. Victoria's Secret Juegos, apparently. And there are a couple of questions here. So Melly is asking, would Lisa like to work with other artists / groups?
For sure. I mean, listen, until Voce Nova really breaks and then we're, you know, touring full time, I would be very happy to take on some clients. You know, I mean, Melly is actually the husband of my former boss as a producer, Gene,
also asked the question.
Hey, Gene. You know, so Gene knows as well as anybody that when you're a producer, those skills go from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next. And I would be very happy to use my styling and my production, you know.
We're not sharing you. What do you mean?
No other crossover opera duo.
No, only one crossover opera duo. And so Jean actually asked, Lisa, what advice do you give to help someone just starting out how to find their own style for stage?
Okay, so style for stage is a little bit different than everyday ready-to-wear stuff. You want to make sure that it's functional as well as fashionable. So especially in the case of Voce Nova, and especially in the case of Natalia, because Gilad's easy. He just wears a super well-tailored tux all the time. The first thing to decide is what needs to happen. What does the outfit need to do? Does it need to have some sort of movement because it's a dance thing? Does it need to be, you know, a long dramatic line because, you know, it's going to be very stationary and you need to have presence? So the first thing is, what does the act require? The second thing that I always go to whenever I'm styling for stage or for anything is what makes you feel great in your body. For any artist, confidence and rocking yourself is essential. You know, you're not going to look great no matter how good the outfit is if you're not rocking it. So you want to feel awesome. So you always want to highlight whatever the wearer thinks of as being their best features. And I think for me, vibe is a big thing. So you got to think also about what you're going for. So if you're going for something edgy and you're going for something a little bit less traditional, you're going to play with lengths, with like hem lengths, necklines, do something in a bolder color. Whereas if you're doing like a recital, you'll probably go for something a little bit more traditional, something, you know, it really depends on what you want to convey. Because I'm a big believer that your outfit announces you before you walk into a room. So you want to look the way you want people to feel about you.
Okay. Wow. What advice. I love that. And if there are any of our opera singer people out there watching, that's a good thing too. By the way, Natalia, Alessandra Rambro 1 would love to learn how to belt with you. Just so you know. So reach out.
I was just, before this live, I was teaching my student how to belt. So.
Oh, okay. So Alessandra, make sure you reach out to Natalia at nataliamusic.online. on Instagram. And Jason had another question. Lisa, is this the most difficult group to work with, or is the synergy always there?
The most difficult group to work
Be
with
careful.
is a group of brides and bridesmaids. I styled weddings for 9 years, and there is nothing more difficult than a wedding party. So if you want to talk about the hardest group, I can refer you to some lovely ladies that I've worked with. No, the synergy is not always here because we're 3 different people, and sometimes Gilad and Natalia are vibing on something and it doesn't feel right to me, and sometimes Gilad and I are feeling something and Natalia's like, you are coming from a different place because you guys are in a little bubble, you know? So I think that synergy is a dynamic thing.
Yeah. And sometimes I come in and the 2 of them are
right.
No.
Yeah.
Sure.
Checks and balances.
And hi, Shira.
Hi, Shira. You're the best.
So, you know, we this has been awesome.
This has been awesome.
I mean, how was it for you being on camera?
It was super fun.
I believe it's like almost an hour.
Really just like talking to 2 people I'm super comfortable talking to, and occasionally remembering there are other people involved.
So, everyone, thank you so much for joining on Instagram. Thanks for joining on Facebook. If you're watching afterwards, please feel free to comment, ask any questions. Hashtag replay. And let's see. Oh, okay. What is the thing you're most excited for in 2021? We'll finish with that. That's a great question, and I think that each one of us has to answer that one. But we'll let Lisa answer that first because she's the guest of honor tonight.
By which you mean you're buying time to think of your own answer.
I can.
In 2021, I am most looking forward to renewal. I think that we've all sort of been hibernating in one way or another for the past year, and I think it's time for us little bulbs to spring out of the dirt and be tulips. You know, there's a lot of opportunities that come with a big shift like we've had this year, and I'm ready to kick all of their asses.
Love it. Do you want to go next, Natalia, or should I?
Go first.
Me? Okay. In 2021, I am looking forward to performing in front of live audiences again. We have been able to do some, and we would love to do a lot more. I'm really excited about everything that we are doing musically right now. Like I said earlier, we have a lot of stuff going on in the works for new VoceNova material that we are extremely
super excited about.
Just to give you an idea, I'm not going to give anything away, but we are looking at combinations of like classic rock and opera and some like really high energy, like contemporary pop. Like there's a lot of stuff and really, really cool mashups that we're working on right now. I'm extremely excited for that. We're
trying for unexpected, but like you've known it all along.
Yeah. So that's what I'm really, really excited about, especially with VoceNova, just being able to go out there and bring more of what we do to as many people as possible, not only in the United States, but elsewhere as well.
Okay. Both of your answers is exactly what I feel. I feel like we all been through some sort of shift, and we're all excited again for things to kind of come back, and now we actually appreciate it way more. Not that we didn't, but now you really understand when you don't have it, you really appreciate it more. So definitely coming back, performing for live audience. But more than that, we actually have some things that we can't even talk about, but I'm so excited about that as well. And definitely performing in front of audience, as I said. And I think that the most fun part for me is the making of that songs. And it's like, I remember me and Gilad, we're literally texting every day, all day. And we're like, isn't like it's just so exciting to like work on new music. It just brings it's what we live and breathe for, you know, to create as singers, as creators. So I can't wait to create and see like the magic, what it's gonna unfold, what's gonna be the end result. It's always so interesting. So I'm very looking forward for that. And honestly, I think the best is yet to come for us. I always think that way.
For sure.
For sure. Yeah. Hey, listen, you know, we keep working hard. We keep getting to new places. It's amazing to think that we made it to America's Got Talent not even a year after our official launch.
I didn't realize that.
That's crazy. Like,
Yes.
you know, when you think about that, and actually, tomorrow is the 2-year official launch anniversary of VoceNova. So the idea of being able to get there within less than a year, you know, just shows you guys what we are here to stay, and we are here to
You
push.
haven't even seen a 0.5% of what these guys have.
Oh.
There's so much amazing stuff that is already happening and that is yet to happen, because I know I'm biased, but VoceNova is such an awesome project. It's so original. It's so much fun. And I know I'm invested. You can't believe me, but it's true. I'm a generally very objective person
Yes,
here.
that's why we like you as a co-producer.
It's so, like, what we've got coming is so great. And if you don't already know these guys, check out the YouTube, because there's so much fun stuff. You will love it.
Awesome.
So thank you all. Thank you all for being here tonight. Thank you, Lisa, for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
And we look forward to seeing you here on the interwebs. If you have any performances, any events coming up that you need any entertainment, please reach out to us. We're still doing virtual events. We are open to doing in person.
We're getting booked for a lot of weddings right now. So the sooner you book us, we actually also do holiday performances. So a lot of things that right now is booking. So if you have something right now you're thinking you're gonna do somewhere, and sooner or later, contact us now, because it takes time to really make it happen. And
yeah. So have a wonderful rest of your night. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Natalia, mwah. Great to see you as always. Love you very much. And love all of you guys for joining us.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you. And we will see you soon.
bye.